Sound, chapter number 12. We hear sounds from various sources like birds, humans, bells, machines, televisions, vehicles, radios, etc. Sound is actually a form of energy which produces a sensation of hearing in our ears. There are also some other forms of energy like mechanical energy, light energy, etc. We have learned about mechanical energy in the previous chapters. You know about conservation of energy, which states the energy that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be changed from one form to another. When you clap, a sound is heard. Can you produce a sound without using energy? Which type of energy did you use to produce a sound? In the following in the following chapter, we shall learn how sound is produced and how it is transmitted through a medium and received by our ears. Production of sound. Production of a sound activity 1. Firstly, take a turning fork and set it on vibration by sticking its prong on a rubber pad. Bring it near your ear. Do you hear any type of a sound? Touch one prong of the vibrating fork with your fingers and share your experience with your classmates. Now, suspend a table tennis ball or a small plastic ball by a thread from a support. Take a needle and a thread. Tie a knot at one end of the thread and pass the thread through the ball with the help of the needle. Now touch the ball gently with the prong of a vibrating fork. Observe what happens and discuss these observations with your friends. A 2 fill a beaker with water on a glass or a glass up to the brim. Slowly touch the water. The surface one prong of the vibrating turning fork. Seen given figure. Now dip the prongs of the vibrating tuning fork in water. Observe what happens in both cases and discuss about these observations with your friends. What do you conclude from these activities? Can you produce a sound without a vibrating body? In the above activities, we produced a sound by striking the tuning fork. We can also produce a sound by scratching, plucking, blowing, rubbing, or shaking objects. We set the objects on vibration and produce a sound. Vibration means referred to and from motion of an object. Human voice is produced due to vibrations in the vocal cords. In the vocal cords, do you hear any sound? When a bird flaps its wings, think how the buzzing sound is produced by a bee. A stretched rubber band and vibrates when plucked and produces a sound. Do this activity and observe the vibration of the stretched rubber band. Activity 3. Activity 3. Activity 3. Prepare a list of different musical instruments and discuss with your classmates which part of the instrument vibrates. Instrument vibrates to produce second. To produce sound. Propagation of a sound. Sound is produced by vibrating bodies. The substance of or matter through which sound is transmitted is known as a medium. Medium can be solid, liquid, or gas. Sound always moves from the point of generation to the listener through a medium. When an object vibrates, it sets the particles of the medium vibrating. The particles do not travel all the way from the vibrating body to the ear. A particle of the medium which is in contact with the vibrating object is displaced first from its equilibrium position. Then it exerts a force on the next particle. As a result, the next particle gets displaced from its rest position. After displaying the next particle, the first particle comes back to its initial position. This process continues in the medium until the sound reaches your ear. The disturbance created by sound travels through the medium and not the particles of the medium. A wave is a disturbance which moves through a medium when the particles of the medium set adjacent particles into motion. They in turn produce similar motion in other particles. These particles of the medium do not move forward themselves, but it in the disturbance that is carried forward. This is the process which happens during a propagation of a sound in a medium. Hence, sound can be considered as a wave. Sound waves are characterized by the motion of particles in the medium, and so they are called mechanical waves. Air is the common medium through which sound travels when a vibrating body moves forward. It pushes and compresses the air, creating a region of high pressure. This region is called a compression C. See each given figure. This compression starts to move away from the vibrating body. When the vibrating body moves backwards, it creates a region of low pressure, which is called rarefaction, which is called rarefaction, or say in figure. As the body moves back and forth rapidly, a series of compressions and rarefactions is created in the air. All this makes the sound wave which propagates through the medium. Thus, compression is the region of high pressure and rarefaction is the region of low pressure. Now, pressure is related to the number of particles of a medium is a definite volume. High density of the particles in the medium gives high pressure and vice versa. Therefore, propagation of a sound can be considered as a propagation of density variations or pressure variations in the medium. Sound needs sound needs a medium Sound needs a medium to travel. You have learnt that sound is a mechanical wave and needs a material medium like water, air, steel, etc. for its propagation. It cannot travel in vacuum, which can be demonstrated by the following experiment. Take an electrical bell and an airtight glass bell jar. The electric bell is suspended inside the jar. The bell jar is connected to a vacuum jam. Same figure. Now after pressing the switch, you will be able to hear the bell now pump out the air in the jar gradually. Using a vacuum pump, the sound becomes fainter, yet the same current is passing through the bell. After some time, you will hear a very feeble sound when air is left inside the jar. What will happen when the air is removed completely? Will you still be able to hear the sound of the bell? No, you will not be able to hear the sound waves are longitudinal waves. Activity 4. Firstly, take a slinky. Ask a friend to hold its one end and you hold the other end. Now stretch the slinky as you saw in figure, then leave it sharply towards your friends. What do you observe? What will happen if you move your hand pulling and pushing the slinky alternatively. Now mark a dot on the slinky. Then you will observe that the dot of the slinky will move back and forth parallel to the direction of the propagation of the disturbance. These regions where the coils become closer are called compressions C, and the regions where the coils are further apart are known as rarefactions R. We know that sound propagates in the medium as a series of compressions and rarefactions. So we can compare the propagation of disturbance in a slinky with the propagation of a sound in the medium. These waves are called longitudinal waves. In such types of waves, particles of the medium move in a direction parallel to the direction of propagation of the disturbance. These particles do not move actually from one place to another, but they simply oscillate back and forth about their main positions. This is the way how a sound wave propagates. Hence, sound waves are known as longitudinal waves. There exists another type of wave called transverse wave. In a transverse wave, particles do not vibrate along with the direction of wave propagation, but they oscillate up and down about their main position. Thus, a transverse wave is the wave in which the particles of the medium move about main positions in a direction perpendicular to the direction of propagation of a wave. When we drop a pebble in a pond, the waves you see on the surface of water is an example of a transverse wave. Light is a transverse wave, but for light the oscillations are not. The oscillations are not of the medium particles of their pressure or density. It is not a mechanical wave. You will come to know more about transverse waves in your higher class. Characteristics of a sound wave. A sound wave can be described by its frequency, amplitude, and speed. Graphic form of a sound wave is shown in figure C, which shows how pressure which shows how pressure and density change when the sound waves moves in the medium. The density h will h the pressure in the medium varies with the distance above and below. The average density and pressure the density and pressure variations respectively when a sound wave propagates in the medium. The regions where particles are crowded together are called compressions and are represented by the upper portion of the curve. The peak shows the region of maximum compressions. Thus compressions are regions of high density and pressure. Rare fractions. Rare fractions are the regions of low pressure where particles are placed far apart and are represented by the valley, means the lower portion of the curve in figure C. Here a peak is called the crest and a valley is called the trough of a way. Distance between two consecutive crests or troughs is called wavelength. In other words, the distance between two consecutive compressions C or two consecutive rare fractions R is called the wavelength, as shown in figure C. The wavelength is denoted by lambda, Greek letter lambda. Its SI unit is meter. Frequency tells us how frequently an event happens. Assume you are beating a drum. Number of times you are beating the drum is in unit time is called the frequency of a drum. We know that the density of the medium oscillates between a maximum value and a minimum value when a sound is propagated through a medium. This change in density from the maximum value to the minimum value and then again to the maximum value makes one complete oscillation. The number of these types of oscillations per unit time is known as the frequency of the second wave. If we can count the number of the compressions or reflections which are crossing as per unit time, we can find out the frequency of the second wave. Frequency of a sound wave is usually denoted by B, Greek letter Nu. No. Its SI unit is hertz, Hz. The time taken by two consecutive refractions or compressions to cross a fixed point is known as the time period of the wave, and we can say that the time taken for one complete oscillation is known as the time period of the sound wave. The time period of the sound wave is denoted by the symbol T. Its SI unit is second, which is represented by a frequency and a time period are related to each other as given below. Heinrich Rupert Hertz as an outstanding scientist was born on 22 February 1857 in Hamburg, Germany, and educated at the Bern University. We can play a violin and flute both at the same time in an orchestra. So both sounds travel through the same medium, air, and arrive at our ear at the same time. Sounds of both instruments travel at the same speed irrespective of a source, but the nature of sounds we receive are different. This happens due to the different characteristics associated with the sound. Associated with the sound, pitch is one of these characteristics. How the brain interprets the frequency of an emitted sound is called the pitch. Vibration frequency and pitch are related to each other. They transfer the vibration of the surface. The higher is the frequency and it turn higher is the pitch, as shown in figure. Thus a high pitch sound corresponds to more numbers of compressions and refractions passing a fixed point per unit time. Different objects of different size and conditions vibrate at different frequencies to produce sounds having different pitch. Amplitude of a wave in a medium is defined as the magnitude of the maximum disturbance on either side of the mean value. It is usually represented by the letter A, as so in figure. For sound, unit of amplitude will be that of density or pressure. The loudness or softness of a sound is determined by its amplitude. The amplitude of the sound wave depends upon the force with which an object is made to vibrate. If we strike If we strike a table lightly, we hear a soft sound because we produce a sound wave of less energy amplitude. If we hit the table hard, we hear a louder sound. A sound wave spreads out from its source. As it moves away from the source, its amplitude as well as its loudness decreases. Louder and louder sound can travel a larger distance as it is associated with higher energy. Given figures shows the wave shapes of a loud and soft sound of the same frequency. The quality or a timbre of a sound is that characteristics which enables us to distinguish two sounds having the same pitch and loudness. The sound is said to be of rich quality if it is more pleasant. A sound having single frequency is called a tone. The sound produced due to a mixture of several frequencies is called a note. Which sound is pleasant to listen. Noise is a sound which is unpleasant to the ear. To the ear, to the ear. Music is pleasant to hear, and it is of rich quality. We can define the speed of a sound as the distance which a point on a wave such as a refraction or compression travels per unit of time. We know that the speed v is equal to distance by time, where lambda is the wavelength of the sound wave. It is defined as the distance traveled by the second wave in one time period t of the wave. Thus, therefore, a speed is equal to wavelength multiple frequency in a certain medium. Under the same physical conditions, the speed of a sound remains almost the same for all frequencies. And intensity of a sound is defined as the amount of sound energy passing each second through unit area. We often use the term intensity and loudness interchangeably, but they are actually not the same. Not the same. Loudness is a measure of response of the ear to the sound. Even when these two sounds are of equal intensity, we may hear one which is louder than the other simply because our ear can detect it better. A speed of a sound in different medium. Sound propagates. Sound propagates in a medium at a finite speed. The sound of thunder is heard later than the flash of light is seen. So we can conclude that a second travels with a speed which is less than the speed of light. The speed of a sound depends on the properties of the medium through which it's a process. We shall learn about this dependence in our high classes. The speed of sound in a particular medium depends on a temperature and pressure of that medium also. The speed of a sound decreases from solid to gaseous form in any medium as we increase the temperature. That speed of the sound also increases. For instance, the speed of a sound in air also in air. The speeds of sound at a particular temperature in various media as given in the below table. You need to memorize the values. Reflection of a sound bounces off a solid or a liquid similarly as a rubber ball bounces off a wall. Like light, sound also gets reflected at the surface of a solid or a liquid and follows the same laws of reflection. The direction in which the sound is incident to the reflected surface and reflected ray make equal angles with the normal and all the three three are and all the three air in the same plane. An obstacle of a large size may be placed or rough and is used for the reflection of sound waves. Echo. Lift the pipe up to a small height and observe what happens in place of a clock. A mobile phone on vibrating mode may also be used. Echo. We shoot or clap near a suitable reflecting object such as in a big room or in a valley. Then we will hear the same sound. Same sound again after some time. This sound which we hear is called an echo. The sensation of a sound remains in our brain for about 0.1 second. To hear an echo, the time interval between the original sound and the reflected sound must be at least 0.1 second. If we take the speed of sound sound 344 meter per second at a temperature, say at 22 degrees Celsius in air. The sound must go to the obstacle and reach to listener on a reflection after after 0.1 second. Thus the total distance. Thus the total distance covered by the sound from the point of generation to the reflecting surface and the black from reflected surface to the point of generation should be at least 34.4 meter. Thus for hearing echoes, the minimum distance of the given obstacle from the source of a sound should be half of this distance, that is 17.2 meter. This distance will change according to temperature of air. Echoes may be heard many times due to successive or multiple reflections. The rolling of thunder is due to the multiple reflections of the sound from a number of reflecting surfaces like the clouds and the land. Reverberation, a sound produced in a big hole will last long by repeated reflection from the walls till it is produced to a value where it is not audible. The repeated reflection that results in the presence of a sound is known as reverberation in an auditorium or big room. Big room excessive reverberation is undesirable. To reduce reverberations, the roof and walls of the auditorium are of plastered draperies or compressed fiberboard. The seat materials are also used on the basis of their sound absorbing capacity. Uses of multiple reflection of sound, megaphones or loud filters, horns, and musical instruments such as trumpets and sanites are all designed in such a manner that they can send sound in a particular direction without spreading it in all directions. In such instruments, a tube followed by a cone shaped opening reflects sound successfully to take on the sound waves from the source in the forward direction towards the audience. A stethoscope is a mechanical instrument used for hearing sounds produced within the body, mainly in the heart or lungs. The sound of the patient's heartbeat reaches the doctor's ears with the help of a stethoscope by multiple reflection of sound as shown below figure. In most of the cases, the selling of concert halls, cinema halls, and conference halls are made of curved shape so that sound after reflection reaches curved all corners of the hole. As so in figure, very often a curved soundboard is placed behind the stage so that the sound after reflecting from the soundboard spreads according to the width of the hill. Range of hearing. The audible sound for human beings ranges from about 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Children under the age of 5 and some animals like dogs can hear sound up to 25 kHz. 1 kHz is equal to 1000 Hz. As people grow older, their ears become less sensitive for higher frequencies. Sounds having frequencies below 20 Hz. 20 Hz are called infrasonic sound or infrasound. If we can hear infrasound, we will be able to hear the vibrations of a pendulum and the vibrations of the wings of a bee. Sensors communicate using infrasound having frequency low than 5 Hz. 5 Hz whales and elephants also produce sound in the infrasound range. Generally, it is seen that some animals get disturbed before earthquakes. Actually, earthquakes produce low frequency infrasound before producing the main shock waves, which possibly alert the animals frequencies higher than 20 kHz are called ultrasound or ultrasonic sound. Ultrasound is produced by animals such as bats, porpoise, and dolphins. Moths of certain families have very sensitive hearing senses. These moths can hear the high frequency squeals of the bat, and now where a bat is flying nearby and are able to escape from capture. Rats also play games by producing ultrasound. Applications of ultrasound. Ultrasounds are high frequency waves which are able to travel along well defined paths even in the presence of obstacles. These waves are used extensively in industries. In industries and for medical purposes, ultrasound is used to clean those parts of mechanisms which are located in hard to reach places. For example, electronic components, a spiral tube, or separate parts, etc. Objects to be cleaned are put in a cleaning solution, and ultrasonic waves are passed into the solution. Due to the high frequency of waves, the particles of grease, dust, and dirt get detached and removed. The objects thus get thoroughly cleaned. Thoroughly cleaned ultrasound. Ultrasounds can be used to detect cracks and flaws in metal substances. Metallic components are mainly used in construction of big structures like buildings, mechanics, machines, bridges, and also scientific equipment. The cracks or holes inside the metal substances which are not visible from outside reduce the strength of the structure. Ultrasonic waves are allowed to pass through the metal substances, and detectors are used to detect the transmitted waves. If there is even a small defect in the metal substance, the ultrasound gets reflected back, showing the presence of the flaw or defect. Ordinary sound of longer wavelengths cannot be used for such purposes because it will bend around the corners of the defective location and enter into detector. Ultrasonic waves are allowed to reflect from various parts of the heart and form the image of the heart. This technique is known as echocardiography. Ultrasound scanner is an instrument which is used for getting images of internal organs of the human body. With the help of ultrasonic waves, a doctor may take the images of the patient's internal organs such as the liver, gallbladder, kidney, uterus, etc. It helps the doctor to detect abnormalities like stones in the gallbladder or kidney and tumors in different organs. In this technique, these ultrasonic waves travel through the tissues of the body and get reflected from a surface. Where there is a change in tissue density, these waves are then converted into electrical signals. Which are used to produce images of the organs. Then these images are displayed on a monitor. Produced images of the organs. Then these images are displayed on a monitor or printed on a film. This special technique is called ultrasonography. Ultrasonography is also used for observing the fetus during pregnancy period to detect congenital defects and growth abnormalities. Ultrasound may be used to break small stones formed in the kidneys into fine grains. Later, these grains get flushed out with urine. The word sonar stands for sound navigation and ringing. Sonar is a device which uses ultrasonic waves to measure the direction. Distance and speed of underwater objects. How does the sonar system work? Sonar consists of a transmitter and a detector and is fixed in a boat or a ship. The transmitter produces and transmits ultrasonic waves. These waves pass through water and after sticking to the submerged, these waves get reflected back and are received by the detector. The detector converts these ultrasonic waves into electrical signals which are completely interpreted. The distance of the obstacle that reflects the sound waves can be calculated by knowing the value of a speed of a sound in water and the time interval between the transmissions and the dispersion of the ultrasonic waves. Let the time interval between transmissions and receptions of ultrasonic waves signals be t and the speed of a sound in seawater v. Then the total distance today traveled by the ultrasound. The above method is called echo-ringing. Echo-ringing method. This sonar technique is mainly used to determine the depth of the sea and to locate underwater hills, valleys, icebergs, submerged and sunken ships, etc. As I discussed earlier, birds fly and search out prey in dark night by emitting and detecting reflections of ultrasonic waves. These high pitched ultrasonic squeaks of the bat are reflected from the prey and returned to bat's ear. See in a given figure, the nature of these reflections tells the bar where the obstacle or prey is. Propage also use ultrasonic waves for navigation. Structure of a human ear. How do we hear? We have an ability to hear with the help of a very sensitive device called a ear. It helps us to convert pressure variations of air with audible frequencies into electric signals, which travel to the brain via the auditory nerve. The auditory aspect of human ear is mentioned below. Ear has mainly three parts. The outer ear is called pinna. It receives the sound from the outer surroundings. The collected sound passes through the auditory canal. At the end of the auditory canal, there exists a thin membrane known as the ear drum medium reaches to the end drum. The pressure on the eardrum inward. In the same way, and the eardrum moves outward when a rare fraction reaches to it. In this way, the eardrum starts vibrating. The vibrations are amplified many times by three bones: the hammer, anvil, and step present in the middle ear. The middle ear which transmits the amplified pressure variations received from the sound wave to the third part of the ear is called inner ear. In the inner ear, the pressure variations are changed into electrical signals by the chlora. These signals are sent to the brain via the auditory nerve, and then the brain interprets them as sound.